might have to make some grade today. Yeah. Yeah.
My channel, Domestic Violence with the Counselor, Mr. James Horton. You can, read it on the front post here. We're going to be having, real fortunate, I've been waiting on this for a long time. We're going to be having, I'm going to be starting a reality show called Domestic Violence with the Counselor. It's going on the big screen, y'all. And you all are going to get a chance to be a part of that. Just sign in. You're going to have to fill out something, and you're going to have to send in a short video, a short video of yourself and answer a couple of questions on the topic, and we're going to see if you're going to be a part of that. All right, so just be on the lookout for it, all right? So this paper is called the Domestic Firefighter. It's called the Domestic Firefighter. It says, defining firefighter. It says the definition of firefighter is a rescuer extensively trained in firefighting, primarily to extinguish hazardous fires that threaten life, property, the environment, as well as to rescue people or animals. Urban Dictionary defines firefighter as a woman or a man. Most firefighter women are known as fire willow, fire wind, fire window, firewood, fireworks, or fire warm. Firefighters are not just public servants. Firefighters are regular, everyday people like me and you. Domestic firefighters are known to start fires, and they are also known to put out fires in most domestic violence relationships. Domestic firefighters have the ability to start, stop, or block most fire burning relationships. Please answer the following questions, all right? Please answer the following questions. Well, just strap in and ride on. It says, number one, domestic firefighter. Are you the fire starter or the firefighter? Domestic firefighter. Are you the fire starter or the fire extinguisher in most of your firefighting domestic violence relationships? Are you the fire starter or the fire extinguisher? The fire extinguisher, as you know, is what puts out the fire, right? Now, you can start fires, and it's not always a negative, starting fires, man. You might be the light within the relationship, the burning flame within the relationship, but then you might be the one that's always starting mess, right? Always starting something, man, and everywhere you go, you start something. Whether it's a friendship relationship or intimate relationship or a marriage relationship, you might just be the one that's always starting a problem, all right, or a fire. Okay, number two says, domestic firefighter. In and within most of your associations, neighborhoods, jobs, or gang groups of friends or relationships, are you known as the fire jump starter or the fire jump stopper, right? In most of the places that you connect yourself to. Some of you guys say you're part of a gang. Some of you guys say you're part of a great organization. Some of you guys are just part of the regular old playing groups. But, who are you in those relationships is what you would like you to ask yourself. Who are you, and what are you about? Or number three, domestic firefighter. Are you known as the fire willow, the fire wind, the fire window, the firewood, the fireworks, or the fire warmer in most, some, or all of the relationship you're known to get in, right? Like, who are you known to be? Find out just who you are. Look at yourself. Each of these papers are designed to make one look at themselves. I'm not trying to help you look at others so much. I want you to basically look at yourself, because you can't fix nobody but you. You can't fix somebody but you. You can try, but you can burn yourself out trying and stay crazy, because, that's not our job, right? It's just not our job. Number four, domestic firefighter. Are you known, excuse me. Number four, domestic violence firefighter. Before you caught your domestic violence case, were you the hot head in the coffee or the coolant in the cream and sugar in the coffee? Whether you're the hot head in the coffee or the coolant. Now, there's a difference between being hot and it being the coolant, right? The coolant is what keeps the engine cool, right? It's what keeps it from overheating and burning out. What keeps you from burning out. It's what keeps you from allowing the stove to burn the house down, right? So you need some sort of coolant and somebody to be cool in a relationship. But sometimes we're not the coolant, we're the hot head, right? We're the hot head in the coffee. And you burn your lips and you burn your tongue and all that. I mean, you want to enjoy something warm you up at times, but you don't need something hot all the time, burning everything up. It's not a good practice. All right. Number 5, domestic police firefighter. Do you feel and believe when you overly strike out, shoot, and abuse others that you're expressing self-control, or do you feel or believe that you are out of control? Domestic police firefighter, do you feel and believe when you're overly striking out, when you overly strike out and you shoot and abuse others, that you are expressing self-control, or do you believe that you are actually out of control? People think, and I've been kind of watching the police force and stuff and the problems around the country, way before the George Floyd incident and things like that, and the shootings that just take place. There was a time when I was a young fella, I was out in the field of the wildness myself. There was a time when police very seldomly shot innocent people. They would, if you got shot, it was necessary that you probably had gotten shot. If you got shot, the police were trained to save a life, so they were shooting someone in the leg, shooting a gun in the air to get the person's attention, right, to let them know this is serious business. And they wasn't shooting straight for the chest or straight for the head. They wasn't shooting 15 to 25 to 36 times with guns, with these automatic weapons. And it makes you think, and it looks as though that people are in control. One can believe that they're in control. One can believe from the orders and the okays that they've gotten from their superiors that it's okay to do what one does. But it's not okay because there are consequences to our actions. And in today's world, people are being subjected to the consequences. People are having to pay large amounts of money for the lives that have been taken. So you want to know, are you in control or out of control? Because what it looks like later on when you are subject to have to be locked up yourself, you would think that you most likely were out of control, and you should have had a little more control over your actions at the time, especially when a person doesn't have a weapon. Now, if they have a weapon, then the game changes. If they have a cell phone, that's not okay. If they have a butter knife, that's even not okay, especially when they're at a distance and they are no harm to you. So think about that. All right, now number 6, domestic peace officer, police officer, firefighter, who says and believes you're off work, who never gets off work when it comes to the loving treatment of your children, wife, community, or others. When you say you're off work, are you really, really off work? What I mean by that, and I was thinking about the large rates of divorces with police officers, the unhealthy relationships that many officers probably tend to not talk about, the pressure that a family goes through many times by dealing with going out to the field, getting a real nasty reputation about being an unhealthy, unrighteous officer, or whatever it might be. It could be even a proper officer, but when you go home and you get off work, I suggest that you take your holster off and you take your gun off your side, right? I suggest that you take that off. You take your bulletproof vest off. Many officers may tend to go home, and I'm sure tend to go home and never get rid of the gun, never lock the gun up in a safe place. Go to bed in their boxer drawers and you know, laying in the bed with your wife, and you find that you're still at work, you know, because if you wasn't at work, you would leave that stuff at the job, you know, and you would you know, you just would do something different, you know, and you would do something different, you know. You wouldn't just sit there and act like you still at the job, act like you pulling a police officer, pulling some drug dealer over or something like that, or some you know, someone prostitution or whatever it might be. You'll know the difference between what's out there in the street and what your house is like, you know. But if you keep performing as though you're at work, you must understand and realize that you're really not off work. You're still carrying your job to your home or carrying your home to your job, you know. So find that out and think about that, you know. So let me see. Number 7, domestic firefighter who believes you cannot stop fighting others. Did you know only you can prevent forest fires? Right? Right? Domestic firefighter who believes you cannot stop fighting others. Did you know only you can prevent forest fires? Right? Only you. Right? Only you can prevent it. You know, you can either start it. You know, we know you can start it. We know that's part of your job. We know that sometimes we have to start small brush fires so big fires won't jump off later on. So it's something to think about. But only you can prevent forest fires. Number 8, we're going to close this out. Domestic firefighter who believes you can, no, domestic firefighter. When it comes to most of your serious intimate relationships, are you known to start the relationship fire and keep the fire lit, or are you known to put most relationship domestic fires out? Right? Now, again, as I had said earlier, that some people can keep a relationship lit, exciting. It's always something great to do. You know, you just enjoy being with your partner. You're loving everything that your partner and you bring to the relationship, and it's got a fire, it got a nice flame going on, you know. And some of us are the kind of individual firefighters that put fires out. We put the good fire out. We put the flame out in relationships, doing something awful, evil, unhealthy, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, telling unhealthy jokes that only you think are funny. These kind of things. So I just wanted to bring the firefighter topic to you, just to open your mind, put a little bit of excitement in it, you know, and keep your brain and your spirit thinking and flowing forward, right? That's going to be it for yours truly, your domestic violence counselor, Mr. James Horton. Thank you for attending my group.